Welcome to 303 Hoops, a whole lot more than the box score. For you hoop junkies, number nerds, or just someone who loves basketball, this is for the love of the game. Live from 303, I'm Ryan Hinsky.
And I'm Caleb Bunch. Guys, Ryan's laughing because I was doing my song of the day, and our songs of the day are from the same album. But,
Yeah.
guys,
I wonder what it is.
Iceman dropped. It dropped. I'm not even a Drake stan, but Iceman was a good project. Like, not one of Drake's best projects by any means, but I thought it was solid. Ryan was mad. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. But I'm like, that's good in, like, music world. Like, a 6.5 out of 10 is, like,
I guess.
that's a quality project. Like,
Especially given the amount of tracks on it. And
yeah, and he dropped 3 of them.
like, it could have been, if it was like bad and we had to wait that long for it,
Yeah.
it would have been.
And if it was bad, I would have given it like a 3.
Yeah, okay.
So 6.5 is like
Fine,
that's a solid
fine,
project,
fine.
you know? Like, I like this more than For All the Dogs, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I like this more. Oh, CLB. Oh.
No.
Oh.
I went back
I wasn't
and listened.
a big fan of CLB.
I went back and listened to CLB. It gets better.
It does get
better.
better, but I think the lows on CLB are much lower
are
than
low,
this
yeah.
album.
Yeah.
In my
Okay.
opinion.
I disagree. I think there are a few songs on Iceman where I'm like,
Girls Want Girls level bad.
yeah, that one's kind of funny. He just saved that for putting it on Maid of Honor instead. He's like, he said, I'm going to put that on Maid of Honor instead.
You're probably right though.
Yeah.
Like CLB, there are some slappers on that.
There are.
Like, oh,
And it's like
goodness.
dynamic. There's like
It
some
is dynamic. Champagne
really good
Poetry.
R&B on that one.
Poppy's Home. I love
Yeah,
Poppy's Home.
Poppy's Home is fire.
Way Too Sexy, obviously, the hit.
Yeah.
TSU, In Too Deep, Pipe
Yeah,
Down.
In Too Deep is my favorite on that one.
7 a.m. on Bridal Path.
Pipe down.
Race My Mind. So, yeah, maybe not.
Oh, Race My Mind is so good.
It's better than Scorpion, though. I like this album more than
I
Scorpion.
like it more than Scorpion.
So,
I like it a lot more than Scorpion. What was the one from Care Package 2019? Was
don't do that.
That one was.
No, don't do that.
I didn't like that one.
Oh, my gosh.
This is the same reason you like that one, which is a little more like. Is that one's a little harder, right?
Yeah, like Care
more-
Package. Wait a
There's a
minute.
little more edge to
Which
it.
one are you You're thinking about Care Package with the cover of the car on
car.
the front.
Yeah.
Okay. I like Care Package.
I don't like that one.
I like Care
I
Package.
like the motto, but everything else. Isn't that the song on
Girls
that
Love Beyonce. You don't like
no.
that? That's on that
one?
album.
Okay, yeah, I guess. I got to go back through that one, but I liked Iceman a lot because I remember listening to that one for the first time. And I think that came out after CLB, or maybe it was the one before, and it was like, oh, Drake's done.
Yeah.
But now he's like, this is good. I like it. And
I didn't like Dark Lane Demo. That's the
Oh,
one.
yeah, no, that
I
one's not good. That was not
hated
good.
Dark Lane
Yeah,
Demo.
that one's not good at all.
Hated it. But yeah, Song of the Day.
Song of the Day.
Ranting about Drake right
Yeah,
now.
they're both. These are two really good ones, and I think they're both underrated. Mine is Make Them Pay,
Make Them Pay is great.
which samples Free by Denise Williams. I love that song. It's an R&B song from, I think, the 70s.
Yes.
And it's a great sample. And it is a lot more of like that. The past couple of Drake albums, we've gotten a song that's very reflective and very...
This is it.
this is it, and also the first song as well on the album.
Yeah, Make Them Cry.
Make Them
First one.
Cry.
Yep.
Those are two songs
like
where
Make Them
I get
Cry.
the sort of vibe that I got from like Middle of the Ocean on
Yes.
Her Loss.
Yes.
8 a.m. in Charlotte.
Yes.
And For All the Dogs is another one where it's like
The Timestamp series.
pretty good flow. He talks about his own. He talks about the pop culture of it all and how the beef and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like he had to address it in some way, and he did it in a really good way
Yeah.
in this song. And this is what's going on in his life, and you want artists to do that. You want
Yeah.
artists to include stuff that's happening, especially someone as large as him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I
agree.
like that song a lot. I thought it's probably my favorite on the album.
Make Them Pay is good. I have Burning Bridges. I just like the beat switch and how he started, getting into his little singing bag. It's a little slower, slows it down.
And we talked about the music video.
Yeah.
If there's
it's
one
awesome
music video,
with the cup.
there's a music video for every song on this album, but if there's one that you need to watch, it's that one.
Burning Bridges.
Yeah.
Great song.
It's
I like
so
it.
funny.
But yeah, I thought it was a step in the right direction for Drake. I thought it was a little bloated with, references to
bloated.
his disses. And I'm like, I get it. Like, I I don't want to hear about this though. Like it happened. It's over.
Yeah.
Kendrick won.
I get
it's fine.
Yeah.
And it's all right. Not a bad opponent to lose to. So I thought it was a little bloated in that sense. Like,
but he's always been rapping about
He has.
like the haters.
he has.
And the ones that turn on him. So it's not anything different. It's
Yeah,
just
it's not
a
out of
little bit
character.
more related to what happened 2 years
Right,
ago.
right. But I thought it was good. Right step, right direction for Drake, you know. So Iceman, that was my I like Maid of Honor. It was like, more the club bangers, and Habibti was
For
more
the London clubs.
the London Utes. The Utes.
Yeah, the Utes will love that one. In what is that? Soha, is that the
Yes.
neighborhood? The neighborhood with the clubs in London? Whatever that one is. Like the Chinatown they have over there.
Yeah. Maid of Honor and then Habibti, yes, was the R&B
Habibti
track.
was not good.
Yeah, Habibti was my least favorite of them. But
Because you can get those night driving songs from a lot of his other stuff.
Yeah.
That's just better.
yeah, even on
CLB.
Iceman.
Yeah, true.
Iceman has tracks out. Burning Bridges.
Yeah.
That beat, man. Anyway, we can talk about Drake all day. And I'm not even a Drake stan, guys.
I like to not
acknowledge
consider
greatness.
myself a Drake stan because I think that Kendrick is the greatest hip hop artist of all time. But he's always my number one artist, so I got to give Drake some respect.
He makes good music.
Yeah.
And he makes music for the people.
And I listen to a lot of his stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, that was our rant on Iceman. But
This podcast is about basketball.
time to talk about what you actually came here for.
Yeah. But
basketball.
shout out as well to my friend of the show, longtime listener, Graham, who works for Team USA
Yes.
Soccer. We listened to Iceman that night, and we've been talking about the NBA playoffs quite a lot.
Yes.
And I wanted to open basketball segment with asking you if the Western Conference Finals is really the NBA Finals.
Yep. No doubt. I think anyone that says otherwise is kidding themselves.
This is the series that people need to be watching.
Yeah, I saw I think it was First Take, of course, them talking about how if the Spurs win, that'll be a better matchup if the Knicks were to win the series. I'm like, are you delusional? Like, I think either team makes quick work of whoever wins the East. Like, it goes 5. Like, I just think that both of these teams are so deep. Like, the depth that they have is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Like, Fox hasn't played in this series.
Yeah.
They still managed to win game 1. A lot of winnable moments in game 2 for them. Dylan Harper goes down. They're still in the game for game 2.
And they had Jordan McLaughlin nailing threes out.
Yeah, Jordan McLaughlin was hooping.
I forgot he was still on the team.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I haven't seen you since Minnesota. It feels like.
Yeah.
So both of these teams' depth is crazy. Obviously, we don't even need to speak of the Thunder's depth. We've talked about it all year. But Jalen Williams went down. Hopefully, he gets back soon. He'll be healthy. But he went down a hamstring. Still able to pull out the victory. Jared McCain giving them amazing minutes. I know Philadelphia is regretting that as they watch the series.
Yeah.
AJ Mitchell. He hasn't played great this series, but even previously though,
he had the game-winning two-way play last night. He had there was a play where Wemby was doing this thing where he was just putting up a layup so that he could get his own and just flush it immediately.
Flush it. Yeah.
Which was
he did
ridiculous.
4 times.
Yeah.
Yes,
and then AJ Mitchell was the one who could finally put an end to it. He boxed Wemby out so that iHeart could come and actually get the board.
Yeah.
That was an interesting moment in the post game where Shea was asked about it.
I don't think it was that good.
And I thought at least the offensive glass, he was destroying the offensive glass.
I couldn't tell if Shea was being serious or not in that response. Because then he was like, no, it was good after laughing. But I was like,
I think he really thought it wasn't good.
I think he was being serious, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe he meant on the defensive end, maybe.
Yeah.
I think the iHeart push-up shot is my favorite thing to watch
so
in
funny.
basketball.
Yeah,
it's like you got a 7-footer shooting a floater 30 feet in the sky. But it was effective.
But I really didn't think that they would translate to being he was on the Cavs first.
And then the Knicks,
and he was on the Nuggets as well, and I think before that, and then ended up in OKC, and then they signed him to a large
Well, he was
deal.
with the Knicks before. Okay.
Yeah, the Knicks. Yeah, that's right. I think he went Denver, Cleveland, New York, and then there. And it's they signed him to this deal that felt like an overpay. And I'm like, how is this a translatable player to what they want? with like the speed and the transition and things like that. But it's really worked out for them.
But you could tell in New York, he was playing well.
He was playing well in New York.
He was playing well.
But I will say also then after AJ Mitchell boxes out Wemby, that's when he hit that big three. I believe it was a three. It might have been a layup, maybe an and one. He scored on the other end that same possession.
Yeah.
So that's like a 5-point swing because it's like Wemby's going to get his own. He put up some layup and was going to go get it. AJ Mitchell puts his back to him.
Yeah.
Ihart slides in. Then AJ scores on the other end, and they go up 7-10, whatever it was, and that's when it felt like it was over.
Yeah. No, I agree, but I think definitely this is speaking to both of these teams and how talented they are and will be for the foreseeable future. We were just talking about before the pod, OKC quite literally cannot roster all their draft picks this year. They will have to send at least one to the G League just because of the fact that literally all of them cannot be on the roster. And the other two probably will be in the G League as well because of how deep that team is. Like Aaron Wiggins isn't even getting minutes anymore for them.
Same guy that made a big speech at the parade.
He had 20 in the finals last year. It's crazy. He's not getting minutes. Isaiah Joe's barely playing, who was one of their best shooters beforehand. It's Nikola Topic, their lottery pick, not playing either. Obviously, he's coming back from a battle with cancer, but it's crazy to say that. And same with the Spurs, honestly. They're winning these games without key players or close to winning these games without key players. So
remember Pokuševski?
Yep. Don't even know where he is now.
Wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Probably would have been fine somewhere else.
Yeah.
Wasn't good enough.
Not good enough to play for that team, man. Kenrich Williams.
Kenrich Williams.
Just watching.
Yeah.
just watching.
Just chilling.
And every time it seems like Jalen Williams, not J-Dub, but the actual Jalen Williams. Yeah. J-A-Y.
Yeah.
Will. Yeah. J-A-Y Will.
Yeah.
Seems like he has 20 every time he gets the opportunity when Shet or Hart is out. So that team is deep, clearly.
Spurs are too.
So Spurs, though. It'll be interesting going back to San Antonio. What do you think, how that makes up? Do you think San Antonio will take both at home?
I feel like they'll split it. I feel like they'll split it again. And the Spurs are going to really – I feel like now's the part where you're making those adjustments, right? And there's a lot of lineup changes you can make to make those adjustments. So I think there's actually – this is – a fantastic opportunity to say and evaluate who's the better coaching staff. You know, who did more work between games, planning and plotting these changes. I feel like they're so evenly matched at this point, and Mitch Johnson has drastically outdone himself. I mean, we can think back to when we started this podcast, and I had the Spurs 4.
And I had them 7, 6, whatever it may be.
And 4 was a hot take. That was on the high end. Yeah. So I think they've done a lot so far to get there, but they have the pieces to make those adjustments. Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of punches that they can throw at each other, and that's what makes it so exciting.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting too. You talked about adjustments, watching both those teams. And defensively, how they figured each other out. San Antonio game 1 played a lot of zone, obviously, and they sent a lot of shading for that second player coming Shea's way, and then a third player was watching him at all times, right? So it wasn't necessarily triple team, but 3 people had their eyes on Shea at all times. And they played zone, and it was really effective against Shea game 1.
They were fronting 3 at the top of the key there.
Exactly. Yeah. And they sent 2 pretty much every time, whether it was someone that would be actually on ball for a trap or just, like I said, shading. And it was less effective game 2 because OKC had someone at the nail pretty much floating in that area, and that gave you the option for a short corner pass or a lob. So whether that was Shet flashing middle and then lobbing it up to Hart or vice versa, or even Caruso floated a couple times in that middle, which is a great scheme because you're able to get someone who can hit a mid-range or lob it up to Shet and is effective with decision making.
And after Caruso was that guy to find the open space and kind of probe around and hit all those threes that he hit. Then Isaiah Joe came in when Caruso had busted his butt.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you didn't have someone like that on the bench,
Right.
back to the depth thing, you would have to keep Caruso in. But now you say Isaiah Joe go run around all over the place.
Yeah, or Jared McCain.
And relocate and hit. Yeah, exactly. McCain in the first half especially. But, it was, to your point there, they were able to adjust from that zone that did work a lot of times defensively. Like, these are two elite defensive teams. And then the Spurs offense, like, having trouble with passing lanes.
Yeah.
Was
and
the big
it's
problem.
interesting. I'm like, Stephon Castle, like, what is going on?
Yeah.
20 turnovers, I think, in game 1 and 2 combined. Like, I don't know. Something's interesting. It's not that OKC is not playing good enough defense to force those turnovers, because they clearly are, but I expect a little more out of Stephon Castle. And just, like, decision-making, obviously he's young, hasn't been in a Western Conference Finals ever, so maybe that's part of it, but also I think, like you said, it just speaks to just OKC and being able to get in the passing lanes, and they play physical, like, clearly. So,
and Castle's that kind of guy you want in a physical game.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Yeah, there's something about the way that Daigneault built this team with the length and getting into passing lanes that maybe, and speeding up the game, that wasn't working in the early length era, like for the 2021 Raptors, for instance. You know what I mean? Like, the OGs last year there with Siakam and all these wings.
Yeah.
Right. And it works to an extent when you have these athletic guys, but a lot of it, you have to start the break.
Yeah.
And the way you do that is use your length to break up the passing lanes, make it confusing for the defense, and have them on their heels where you're guarding them at the face, and then they know that wherever they spray it, there is someone waiting, watching like a hawk, waiting for them to put it right in the position where they can steal the ball, take it to the other end, start a fast break opportunity. And that's what happened, and that's how I thought a lot of it was fatigue, actually, but that the Thunder did that really well last night.
I think that's fair. I'm curious then, because something that the Thunder have been doing is kind of their zone has morphed into man and vice versa. Like, their man's morphing into zone. And you kind of have Chet almost playing like baseline as help off Wemby. And I was complaining to a group chat I'm in. I'm like, Chet needs to guard Wemby. Like, this isn't working game 1 wise, right? So I'm just curious
when Wemby played 49 minutes
and had 40 and 20. I'm like,
the broadcaster said this. They said, and I forget who did game 1. Maybe it was Rocco.
It wasn't Reggie. It was someone else.
Was it? I don't know. Whatever. And they were like, well, if there are any doubts about his endurance, there you go. He's at 47 minutes right now.
Right.
And they're about to win in overtime because he single-handedly outlasted.
A double OT.
Yeah, double OT.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I don't even know.
Insane game. Game 1 was a generational game.
It was.
Yeah.
What do you make of Chet not guarding Wemby? Do you think it's smart for him to play help? Because obviously when Wemby gets by his main defender, if the second line of help is Caruso versus Chet, is a huge difference there.
So Wemby's shot was off in game 2, his jumper. Right. So I think there's and a lot of that, again, fatigue. So I think it made more sense in game 2 than it did in game 1. I agree with you. It was like, we just got to go one-on-one here.
Right.
But game 2, it made more sense because it wasn't like if you had a small guy, Wemby was going to, a smaller guy, Wemby was just going to rise over him and hit a 3.
Right.
It wasn't falling for him in that game.
Yeah.
Whereas, the Spurs came out saying we're going to let Caruso shoot threes and had to change that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It just didn't – it worked out in that situation given the fatigue that was clearly there. I mean, he's an alien, but he's not an alien from –
wherever,
the type of world that doesn't run out of energy. I don't know where I was going with that. But
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Like, he's not unique in that sense, right?
So it made sense to bring help if he was going to break that first line of defense, kind of like –
which he did every time.
Yeah. Kind of like a middle linebacker. Like if he breaks the first line of defense, Chet is there.
Right.
With the length to be able to make something happen.
Which is interesting, which is why I think Daigneault going forward should play a lot of double big lineups, honestly. Have Hart on him, have Chet as second line defense, because Chet's a little more mobile than Hart. So, like, even if Wemby was to kick it out to the corner after, he beats his main defender, Chet could recover better. So that way you have kind of two lines of defense that actually could impose their will somewhat on Wemby. But I don't know. We'll see the adjustments they make game 3. That's tomorrow night. So excited for that. But irrespective of how that game goes, I said something to Ryan that he did not like, guys. I said that if OKC loses this game, I think, and I don't know if they actually do this, but I think it's sensible for them to make a push for Giannis. I think they have the best trade package in the entire league for him. They do. They have youth players that they can give up and would not bat an eye at. They have picks for days.
They have Jalen Williams' contract.
Yeah, they have Jalen Williams' contract right now. Shet's still on his rookie contract, and that kicks in next year, the actual payday that he got. But
you got to give up a max to get.
Yeah, so it's either gonna be Jalen Williams or Shet. Like we know that for sure. And I think that if I was the OKC Thunder, I would give up Shet. If I lose the series, of course, I'll give up Shet, AJ Mitchell. And then take your pick on the third player, like Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, Nikola Top, whoever it is, just so that you have roster spots for the draft picks you have coming in. And then probably a pick or two, but no more than two. Because I think those three players that's about as good as a package you're going to get from any team anyway. So I don't know, but Ryan hated that.
Yeah.
For obvious
From a league
reasons.
Perspective.
Yeah. Tell me why.
Well, it's simply overpowered. And I've dealt with this before in my lifetime.
I know.
Standing in an airport watching the Warriors trade for Kevin Durant, or Kevin Durant signed with the Warriors.
4th of July, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Damn.
And that was, I was still off the high of, I was trying to enjoy my summer.
Mm-hmm.
Having just won an NBA championship.
Yep.
Feeling like we could do it again next year.
Right.
Keeping all our players that we did, because they all stayed pretty much that next year. And then that happened. And then DeMarcus Cousins happened.
Yeah.
And
dang, I forgot about that.
And it was over.
Too.
Then it was over. And then there was no reason to care.
Yeah.
And I've dealt with that before, and I feel like if they got Giannis and gave up J-Dub and maybe a couple young good players, like I don't think they would give up AJ Mitchell at this point, but let's say Isaiah Joe and who else is an interesting younger
Take
guy.
your pick. Jaron McCain, Isaiah
Joe. Yeah, maybe Jaron McCain, younger than 25, younger than 20.
Even Aaron Wiggins, he's still young. Like,
okay, yeah, sure.
That's not like take your pick. Will.
Right.
Like,
and then all 3 of their first round picks.
I don't think they do that though.
Maybe 2 of the 3, and then like 3 or 4 more. Like
really? You think that's what it would take for Giannis?
I mean, it's Giannis. This is like
I know, but
he's like a top 3 player in the league.
I know, but I think all defensive player you're getting in chat. I think AJ Mitchell. You've seen what he was averaging 19 before the series in the playoffs. Like clearly good player, young guard, which Milwaukee needs everything right now. And then also like a younger player like Isaiah Joe or Jared McCain and 4 picks.
Maybe Milwaukee plays the hero and is like 28 other teams that aren't part of this conversation right now.
Right.
Don't want you to have Giannis, so we're going to push the price up a little bit.
Hey, maybe.
I think they have that leverage.
They do. But
because
then if
the Thunder don't need Giannis to win a championship. By any means. They got to get rid of some of their picks. They don't want to waste first rounders.
Right. Because you're wasting first rounders.
Yeah.
They're going to be shipping first rounders to the G League. Literally without even being
Which is unfortunate for those players, even though they might benefit in the long run. You still want to get out there on an NBA court your rookie season if you're the 21st overall pick.
Yeah. Right. I'm not trying to go to wherever.
Exactly.
Maine Red Claw.
I think they're like the blue, right?
The blue. The blue.
Yeah.
I don't know where they are.
Yeah, it's like the Tulsa Blue or something. I don't know.
Yes.
Something like that. Toledo, something.
Oh, no, Oklahoma City Blue.
Oklahoma
City Blue.
So they're like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you might be the best G League team ever, but we're like best summer league team of all time.
Exactly.
But like, if I'm the Bucks, I'm charging premium, triple premium for that.
That's
because
fair.
I know that they don't need it. So if they really want Giannis, come and get him. Because I have a lot of other teams picking up the phone.
They're not giving you that trade package,
I don't know.
They're not giving you... Like, if Cleveland did that, which you said Mobley would be that level of player, who was the second person Cleveland giving up?
Sam Merrill, the way he's playing right now.
You take that over A.J. Mitchell and Jared McCain?
I mean...
come on. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but it's more of a, commissioners involved. There's stuff going on behind the scenes.
I don't disagree with you. And not only do I make this argument from team perspective, right? I think a huge part of it is also like, let's be real here. In my opinion, people like, I love an even league. I love when people win, like give people opportunity when, like obviously we haven't had repeat champs in forever, right? That might change this year. But I think people genuinely don't care about that. That's my hot take. I think people like watching Dynasties. I think the numbers show it. And frankly, if OKC gets Giannis, I think that also makes Giannis a villain. And I think people are invested in that. We saw that with the KD Warriors, right? Love them or hate them, you're watching them play Cleveland because you know that's a good series. You know that's a team that you want to hate. You want to see them fail. So that's another reason I'm like, hey, I think it'll be good for the league and ratings, honestly. And that puts us in the position where we're probably expecting to see OKC play San Antonio again in Western Conference Finals, but this time Wemby against Giannis. And Shea.
You just added Shea.
No, but I'm saying like watching them play like guard each other because that's probably the matchup that OKC. Like generational. Feed families. That's all I'm saying.
Giannis and Chet in the front court?
No. I think they give up Chet.
And they
not
keep J-Dub.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you give up the guy who had 40 in the NBA
Finals. Sure. You give up another unicorn. You give up a unicorn. Yeah. I don't know because Giannis can guard Wemby to some extent. Yeah. And I agree that series would be fantastic. Whew. But like when's the Eastern Conference? Who's watching the Eastern Conference?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe your fans are interested in like, okay, but like what if you're the Celtics and your door is closed in 4 years? You know what I'm saying? Like and you have to deal with that.
Hey, that's their problem.
But okay, so let's look at the numbers.
Okay.
I'm going to put this up on the screen in post. But NBA regulars, what you're looking at right now is NBA regular season viewership past 20 seasons. So you're looking at the peak pretty much of the last 20 seasons being early and the most dominant big three, Miami Heat. The Heatles. Where you've got LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Bosh playing against, at that time the Spurs were the differently formed but also very stacked team.
That was like the Boris Diaw, Thiago Splitter, Kawhi, obviously, early Kawhi, very early Kawhi. And then obviously the big three of Ginobili, Duncan, and Parker.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I think this helps your case. Regular season, absolutely. Super teams draw in viewers, and that is something that the NBA is struggling with, is regular season viewers, right? That's probably their biggest problem with the ratings. Because let's check in with the NBA. The NBA's perception right now, pretty positive compared to where we were with the tanking stuff.
That is true.
We had a decent All-Star break. Like, okay, All-Star break's getting a little better.
Yeah, and people cared. Like, it's like the way that was formatted with the games going to a certain score in the quarters.
Right.
Like, it seemed like the teams cared too.
But now we got Magic and Bird 2.0, and it's drawing in viewers, and even the first two rounds were drawing in more viewers. Yeah. So I think the NBA is in a place where we're transitioning. There are still some of the older stars that are playing in these competitions, but we're really becoming familiar with seeing Anthony Edwards every year.
That's fair.
Because they were in the conference finals last year, the Timberwolves.
And they were 2 wins away from
we
being
didn't even have Luka in this tournament.
Correct.
Right? So we've got that. We've got, Shea, back-to-back MVP. We've got Wemby, who some experts are starting to say is maybe the best player in the world. NBA.
Yeah.
Which there is an argument for it.
And it's a valid one.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it, but it's a valid argument.
I think, once you factor in, we have to have good memories here because Jokic is still...
Right.
But, I was texting with Tripp the other day, and he's like,
Tripp.
I can't... Yeah, shout out Tripp. He said he can't keep Jokic at number one. And I'm like, I don't want to have a short memory, but I think he's right. It's hard to say that, with the way Shea and the Thunder have been playing, that kind of excellence that we revere, like the Bill Russell, Tim Duncan type excellence,
right?
As on top of him being a great individual player, one of the all-time great individual players, I have to give him that edge there. But I don't know. I'm talking too much I want to hear your point of why this is healthy for the league because
Yeah.
I kind of disagree a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it would
That's
be
fair.
too one-sided.
I don't know if it'll be one-sided. Like, I think,
Think these series will be close? Anyone could take them to 7?
I think I don't know,
Someone
man.
can take him to
We have
7?
to remember the Spurs are not even fully healthy right now.
And they're young.
And they're young. De'Aaron Fox hasn't played a game, and they could be up 2-0 very easily. So I don't know. I don't know if Giannis shifts the cards that much in the way that it would compared to previously, like with KD. Because the problem with KD, right, I think was not only are you joining a stacked team, it was a stacked team that by many experts and accounts should have won the championship that year. Right.
Yeah.
And so I don't think necessarily that same type of vitriol will come Giannis's way because of the fact that I don't think people view this Thunder team the same way they viewed that 73-9 Warriors team.
Well, what about that Thunder team that he left, too? Because KD left the second-best team.
And that was the second-best team in the league that year.
Yeah, they were. And
Like,
they led 3-1.
And they led 3-1. So
forget
I think it was the way that KD left.
Yeah, no, Giannis is fine.
Right.
I'm not saying Giannis.
You're just saying from a league perspective.
Yeah, it'd be bad for the league.
I think people like watching Dynasties, man. I really do. I think people care about that, and I think people care about super teams. Like, I think not only to your point about the Heatles, right, but that was the same year they were playing the Spurs every year. Mm-hmm. Right, and so whether they were beating the Spurs or losing to the Spurs, there was a rivalry. And I think people really get invested in storylines in the NBA, and I think it's healthy from a viewership standpoint in that regard. I don't necessarily think, people will love the OKC Thunder as much. People already hate that team, whether it's the foul baiting or the personalities on that team. But I do think people will be more invested in them, whether that's seeing them lose or win. So I just think from that perspective, if you're Adam Silver, you're like, hey, man. And they also did it the right way. It's
like you can't
I
knock
can't
the
fault
excellence of Sam Presti.
Sam Presti accumulated all these picks because the Clippers decided, hey, Paul George was worth that much. And here we are. That's what happened. So I just think
he made it to the second round. He beat the Celtics.
He did. So I don't know, man. I just think that that's kind of why I'm thinking like the league would love this. Like I texted my friends, I said parodies for chumps. Like, hey man,
okay.
Like we want to see super teams. Love them or hate them. The Heatles, the Warriors, those Celtics teams with Paul Pierce, KG, Rondo, Ray Allen against Kobe.
You know what gets views, Caleb? Game 7.
Game 7 does get views.
Call me a chump because I like Game 7s. I want Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
That's fair.
2016 Game 7, 31 million viewers.
Yeah.
2 years later, the Warriors swept. 16 million viewers was Game 4.
That's crazy.
And the first 3 games weren't much better at all. When the Cavs made the finals and were swept by the Spurs in 2007, viewership was below 10 million every game, while the Heat-Dallas series, that were 2 teams that were not super teams at all. I'm talking about the 2006.
Yeah, I figured.
They, the year before, had double-digit million viewers for every game, which the year after and the year before them was not happening.
Right.
Because it was competitive. And NBA fans want to see that.
I still think it will be competitive. I think the problem is, right, the argument we're having really is like who in the East will be able to compete. And I'm not necessarily trying to make that argument. Look, I get it. Like viewership for the finals might be down because of the fact that the East isn't a formidable opponent. However, I guarantee you that Spurs series, irrespective of whether Giannis is on that OKC team or not, would have even let's say this series doesn't go 7 this year. If it was to happen next year, I will bet you that it'll be double-digit million viewership every game if they were to run it back exactly. Even with Giannis on that team.
Giannis, Shea, J-Dub against Wemby and his friends.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Wemby and his friends.
That's a sweep.
Wemby and his friends. We're calling that Spurs team Wemby and friends.
I think it's too one-sided.
You call that Wemby and friends?
They're going to need to trade for Donovan Mitchell or something. They're going to need...
No.
It's going to need to be two super teams to get those viewership.
No.
And then you're not going to have anyone watching anything else.
Stop it.
Because it's like, what's the point?
Stop it, man. I don't know. You want to see people lose, man. You want to see people win. Either way.
I'll say this. I think you have a good argument. I will give you that. I do think that it'll help the league, like... now everyone will know who these players are, everyone. And we kind of need that celebrity again because we're moving from one era to the next. And it's like, who's going to be the one that everyone knows after LeBron retires? And it's like kind of unclear right now.
Yeah.
We have some international stars that like some people are just going to disqualify because they're like international and have accents and speak different languages, which sucks.
Right.
But unfortunately, that's the way that some people are going to think about it. Shea and Giannis as a duo, jeez.
Yeah.
Genuinely, both of them are in the top 3 for me right now. They are 2 of the top 3 players in the NBA. That is... That's not fair.
When was the last time that happened? The Warriors team you was
Yeah. That
KD team?
And in 2018, Bron got swept.
Versus the world.
His best season.
It was 5, right?
I think 2017 was 5.
2018 was,
2018 was D.C. on my 8th grade
17
trip.
was the 5.
Yeah.
17 was the 5.
I was in D.C. and good excuse not to watch it.
17 was 5. 18 was the sweep. Bron had 51 in game 1 and it meant nothing because J.R. Smith.
Because J.R. Smith.
We'll see. I don't know, man. The Thunder might not even be this predicament. Like they might end.
I hope not.
They might end up beating the Spurs and then
But
kumbaya.
you bringing light to it scares me, and I wanted to talk about
People
it.
better wake up. I don't think people realize how loaded that team is. I think they have 30 picks until from now until 2032. They have 30 picks.
Yeah.
Come on now.
It's over.
It's over. It's over.
And it's like there's no end in sight. With the Warriors, there kind of was.
Yeah.
It was like these guys are old.
Yeah.
Older. And then they came back without the Super Team 2022, and that was a great final series.
Right.
You know. So we're going to end on this because I'm a Cavs fan. And the window is closing, right?
From
this
let me just say this real quick.
Say this.
They hold 33 draft picks across the next 5 NBA drafts.
They got to make a trade. You got to make a trade like that.
Yeah, but continue your point. I interrupted.
No, you're right though. You're right. You're absolutely right.
30.
That they're going to do something like this. They're going to.
They have no choice. But anyway.
I'm going to end on this because I'm a Cavs fan, and I don't. Next week, I don't know how sad I'll be, but or happy. I don't know. But we're not going to talk about the choke. We, usually it's the other team that does the choking, but, it is what it is. I have to remind myself how much of a privilege it is to be in the conference finals.
Without Bron on your team.
Yeah. I mean, it is significant.
Yeah.
It's Donovan Mitchell's first time in a great NBA Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
First time in his career that he's in a conference finals. Mm-hmm. And he needs to step it up a little bit back in his hometown, but played good in game 1 until the run. But yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm okay right now.
Good.
We played tonight. I don't know how we might lose by 30 tonight, but we take it back to Cleveland. And we were down 0-2 to Detroit, and now we're here. But I will just end on this to make my final point in this argument. If it were us playing with the Knicks for the right to play Giannis, Shea, and J-Dub, then I'm not sure how invested I'd be right now.
I can't blame you for that. Yeah.
The window closes next year.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. If they're going to trade for Giannis anyway, go ahead. James Harden goes somewhere else in free agency.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows where he'll be.
Or we trade for Giannis and sign LeBron. To a minimum. 42-year-old Bron.
They say Cleveland's one of the favorites to land LeBron.
They do say that.
They say.
But I don't know.
It's New York, I think. Obviously the Lakers, New York, and Cleveland as the favorites. So we'll see where that ends up.
He's not going back to the Lakers. No way.
We'll see.
No way.
But anyway, guys, every week you can tune in here. This has been 303 Hoops with another
Iceman.
discussion. And yes, Iceman dropped. Go listen. It's on all platforms. I don't know why I'm doing promo for Drake. But anyway.
As if he needs it.
Until next time.